Plaintiff William Horton says he had a rough upbringing and grew up in a gang-infested neighborhood, but he turned his life around and is now an X-ray technician for the St. Louis Rams. William bought a car from the defendant, but it was not registered in the defendant's name, so he wants his money back. Defendant Kenny Whitehead says he was a promising athlete in high school, but he ended up with the wrong crowd, got into trouble, and dropped out of school. Kenny credits his wife for getting him on the right path in life, and he insists he was trying to rectify the issue with the title.
Start with you.
My name is William Horton. I'm here with my son, William Horton, the third. Watch the show all the time, sir, for a few years now. So pretty good show, pretty funny show, you know. Like when you zing people here and there, so.
That's right, really funny, not just pretty funny. You're right.
Don't waste no time jumping in, Eddie. But I love your show, sir. You're an inspiration to men like myself and my son. So it's a pleasure to be here in your company.
Thank you.
So, born in St. Louis, I moved to California, Long Beach, when I was 5. Stayed there roughly with my grandmother around 10 years or so. Pretty rough, you know, upbringing.
Long Beach is, depending on the part of Long Beach. If you're over there where Snoop was raised.
Oh yeah, 2 blocks. 2 blocks around the corner from Snoop.
Snoop Dogg was raised.
And grew up playing street football with Willie McGinnis. So, you know, we were in the vicinity of the guys that we didn't know were going to become rich and famous at the time. You know, had I known it, I would have hung out with them a lot more. You know? So
sound like the guys in the projects I grew up with. Go ahead.
It was just infested with a Crip gang. So we knew a majority of the gangsters. You know, we didn't get jumped in or gang or anything like that, but we ran around with them, hung out with them. But I had one of those kind of like gangster grandmothers that didn't play that. So I called myself one day, you know, Judge Mathis coming home with a blue rag in my back pocket. I walk in like I'm all cool and hard. My grandmother beat that rag out my back pocket. I mean, just beat the mess out of me. And I'm not condoning anybody to beat their kids nowadays, you know. But I mean, beat my behind, sir. So
you have to get the switch?
Oh, the switch, the belt, the shoe, whatever she had in her hand, she would just chuck it at you.
Extension cord? You never got the extension cord?
Now, I got that a couple of times, but I went to school one time with a whip on my arm, and after that, my grandmother said, nope, gotta beat you somewhere where they can't see it from now on.
That's right.
So she was,
that's right.
She was no joke. She did her best to take care of herself.
That was just tough. I don't know what to say, because I used to get the extension cord, the switch. Then when the regular switch wasn't working, I had to go out and get the rose, which has the thorns on it. Yeah, Lord, and that didn't work. So finally, she just started calling the police. Go ahead.
So we were like on welfare for several years, and
was he around during these days?
No.
Defendant?
No. I didn't know. That was in California. I didn't meet him until we got here. St. Louis.
Moved back to St. Louis when?
When I was 14.
All right, and then what?
At that point, I just went through this real self-destructive stage. You know, my mother passed away, so I'm sure something to do with it. So at that point, Judge Mathis, I thought I'd just become this gangster.
What type of gangster did you become?
Oh, I tried to sell drugs, and I'm probably the worst drug dealer in the world, you know. Older gentleman I was kind of hanging out with, you know, pretty classy guys, suit and tie. You know, he was one of the...
Sound like the suppliers in the suburbs. That's what they walk around, suit and ties, and they deliver the big bulk of the drugs to the inner city guys.
And that's what he would always say. Don't be one of these street hustlers.
And he said, move out in the suburbs with me and wear a suit.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right. So let's get to how you got out of that. You know he's waiting to talk.
So after getting in multiple trouble and getting arrested and all, at that point, you know, the turning point was when I was in front of a judge and he was like, you know, you
gave you a second chance or what?
You got an opportunity to go to school, take this opportunity.
Where'd you go?
If I see you again here, you're going to jail for a long time.
Where'd you go?
Washington University, a radiology
one
program
of the best
there.
in the country.
Yep.
Washington is a great school in St. Louis.
Oh, did you really?
No, I say it's a great school in St. Louis. No, they wouldn't let me in.
Yes.
Go ahead. Since I wasn't as smart as you, did you get your degree?
Yes, sir. For the past 13 years, I'm the X-ray tech for the St. Louis Rams football team.
All right, right on. All right.
Pretty nice job.
Good.
Yeah,
13 years.
Yeah, so.
I don't think they won in the last 13 years, though. That might be a problem there.
See, so that might be bad luck, you saying?
They haven't won haven't won since you joined the staff. Let me hear from you. You give me some background, then we'll get to the refund on the car he's suing you for.
Okay, well, my name is Kenny Whitehead. I'm from St. Louis also, inner city St. Louis. Pretty much the same background as Mr. William here. Had a rough background, grew up in the north side of St. Louis, particularly like the JVL. And you know, pretty much just running around with the wrong guys, the wrong crowd got me in some trouble, and I dropped out of school. And I was a promising athlete, Judge.
In what sport?
In football.
Okay, so did you ever go to prison for your street activity?
No, sir. No, sir.
How'd you turn yourself around?
Well, I turned myself around. I met a particular person, and the person was kind of mentoring me, guiding me, and giving me, encouragement.
You don't want to say his or her name?
Well, my wife, Nisi.
There you go.
Nisi White,
Give credit where credit is due.
A couple lumps.
You did what she told you, as a man should.
Yeah.
Go ahead. See how it works out? You do what your wife says and changes your life for the better.
Right. Gave me a couple lumps upside the head, sleeping on the couch at night, so I was like, let me get my stuff together.
There you go.
I eventually, I dropped out of high school.
How'd you get back in?
Well, got back in, decided to go back to night school, ended up graduating out of night school. I needed like 3 credits, graduated.
Okay.
Been doing my profession ever since I did that.
What profession?
I'm a trash man. I pick up the trash.
Good. All right, good.
So,
that's a good paying job for sure. For real, for real. $2,500 you're suing him for a car. How so?
So Judge Mathis, on or around about June 24th, I gave Kenny here $2,500. Before this, I bought my son a car before this car and had to take it away from him because of his grades.
All right, so what happened when you bought this one?
So I gave him the money, got the title a few days later. When I received the title, sir, Kenny had us under the impression that it was in his name. It's not in his name.
The title said what, though?
The title says it's someone else's name.
You have that?
Yes, sir.
And when you brought that up to him, what did he say?
I guess it was his cousin, he said it was. This is my cousin.
When you told him you needed a title in his name in order to transfer it to you, or the cousin needs to transfer it to you, what did he say?
He said, oh, well, I can get this taken care of. I know someone at the DMV. I can go down here and get this taken care of like this. I said, no, Kenny.
What are all these scratches?
Oh, that's Mr. Whitehead doing there.
Scratching out all the information.
Oh, yeah.
How you going to
That's Mr.
transfer
Whitehead
a title with all? Nobody's going to accept this.
Mr. Whitehead thought they would.
Unless you got a crook at the DMV. What is this? I mean, you got there's only 6 words out of 30 that aren't scratched out. Let me hear from you, sir. Obviously, you haven't given the man his money back, and that's why he's suing you.
Well, when I sold the car, it was some issues. I was trying to get the situation taken care of with the title.
What situation?
As far as like getting the title transferred over and everything, so William could drive the car. So in the event, I did the procedures on trying to get the car taken care of, try to get the right paperwork on it. So when I called, she said,
Sir,
"Well,
whose car was it? Let's start there.
It was my car because I bought the car."
Okay, is your name anywhere on it?
No, it's not on there.
How did it become your car without being on here?
Cash exchange. I give
ownership
money.
in a car is transferred by title.
Right, correct. Yeah.
So show me where it was transferred to you.
I just bought it.
So you don't have a title. Your name is not on the title?
No, sir.
Why?
I never put it on there.
So you didn't own it, sir. You sold him something you didn't own.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
If my name not on the title, that's what it is.
Right. So why didn't you give him his money back?
I was really trying to go through the steps on trying to get this vehicle registered. It wasn't like I sold the car and didn't make an initiative.
No, it was like you sold a car you don't own.
Right.
So why won't you give him his money back? You sold him a car that you don't own.
It was like I've been calling the DMV to try to get everything situated.
No, ain't no DMV. You call the person you bought it from.
Good luck with that.
I don't know. He has no clue who that is, Your Honor.
Good luck with you. $2,500 is your judgment. He gives me no reasonable explanation why he sold you a car that he has no evidence he owns. There's absolutely no evidence that you own this car. You sold him. He could prosecute you for fraud.
Yeah, he could.
That's
Very
next.
good.
That's next.
But look. Even though the car's not registered, it runs like a champ. I'm talking about it runs good. Your Honor, if you seen it, you would want to drive it. It got exhaust. It got TVs in there.
Your Honor, Judge
And
Mathis.
this ain't even a minivan.
Mathis, I have pictures of the car. It's a piece of crap on the inside. It is a piece of crap.
Well, hey, Honor, when I drive it, I get all.
What kind of whistle was that? That was a bird.
That's from one institution. You belong here, sir. You don't have them all. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,500.
Oh, I'm just glad that the ordeal is over with and we can now give my son a real car from, I guess, a real owner. And Mr. Waggerhead can have this piece of junk car back of his.
Well, the piece of junk is a good car. I'm gonna try to get the paperwork for it. We're gonna find out who this person is. And once the car gets fixed, he's gonna be mad he gave it back because it's gonna be looking nice, so.
He can have that thing.
I'm driving. You wanna ride with me?
Nah.
We're gonna roll.
No,
We
don't do that,
roll.
dog.
We gonna roll.